Lops out Ferrucci's head. That's it. Done. What's going on, YouTube? Legend here once again. This time back at you again. We're going to talk about One Piece again. There's no chapter this week, but I want to talk a little bit more about the last chapter and what happened in there, because a lot happened in the chapter and we have a lot to unpack. So you know what? Forget the break. We still got some stuff to talk about when it comes to this. In the chapter, a lot of things happened, and we started off where we had Kiku versus Kanjuro, right? And we see that he's, he painted some soldiers, some headless soldiers, and this and that and whatever. And when he's fighting Kiku, he seemed a little confident, and yeah, so that was going on, right? But I'm gonna hop back on that subject later, because we actually come back to this afterward later on in the chapter, at the end of the chapter actually, and something a little ominous happened, but we'll get into that, right? But after that, we get into a situation with Luffy and Yamato, right? And with Luffy and Yamato, like, a lot of it is what we predicted. We predicted that, Yamato was going to join the crew. A lot of people thought that. I can't remember exactly, but I think there was a situation where Oda said that crew members might join back to back or something like that. I can't fully remember. But yeah, so we got Yamato on the crew now. We got, Luffy didn't accept her, but at the same time, it's gonna happen. I'm pretty certain at this point that Yamato's joined the crew. Yamato has all the factors that are needed to join the crew when it comes to, they want to be free, they want to go see the world, they want to go, they want to basically fill in the shoes that Odin left, and yeah, so they fit the description of, just somebody with a straw hat. So they probably had a pretty tragic past, because that's Kaido's daughter. So, and Kaido beat the living hell out of her. So, something like that. So, and they've been trapped on the island for however long. So, like, Yamato can have a good backstory. We're gonna get a backstory for Yamato because, with Ace, and we're gonna see that. So we're gonna see Yamato's backstory, and yeah, and we're gonna have a bona fide straw hat here. Makes a lot more sense than Carrot. I always talk about Carrot and say, oh yeah, Carrot's gonna join the crew, but realistically, like, Yamato is a good fit. We see that they're a good fit right from the jump. They've only been here for about 3 chapters, so yeah, I think that's it right there. But then we jump to Kaido and his announcement, right? Now here's where the big things start happening in the chapter. So we see that in that Kaido's announcement, first thing he says is that with him and Big Mom together, they're gonna go look for the ancient weapons. Now this is a big deal, because you know what? It's been so long since we've actually seen a villain go for the ancient weapons like that, like where the arc was actually about that, as ever since where it was an Ine's lobby when they're looking for Pluton, and ever since then, like Poseidon was obviously in Fishman Island, but like they weren't like it was still kind of a secret, and but now I think they have the means, they have the power to be able to get those ancient weapons, even though Poseidon is a secret. Somebody's there that does know that Poseidon is on Fishman Island, and that is and that's not. I'm not talking about Robin either. It's actually Caribou. Caribou is there. Caribou is there on Wano. He was in the prison, so he might be on Onigashima too. We don't know where Caribou is. He was in the prison. We don't know what happened to him after that. All right. So if prisoners are freed, so Caribou's somewhere. And if Caribou falls in the hands of Kaido or Big Mom once again, he is spilling the beans. They say they're looking for the ancient weapons, this and that. Caribou's like, don't kill me, I got value, this and that. Fishman Island's in trouble, Now we might go back to visit Fishman Island again, where, we get Charlie's premonition about Luffy destroying the island, So there's that. So, and then we have Pluton. Robin knows exactly where Pluton is. If Crocodile knew that Pluton had something to do with Alabasta, then Alabasta's in trouble, you know. And then Uranus, we have no idea anything about Uranus, so we'll see how that goes, you know. But yeah, but there's some trouble brewing. If they're after the ancient weapons, then this can get pretty large scale, and this will be end game. Like, this is like the end of the Yonko saga might be the end of the series type deal, you know. But yeah, that's the thing there too, you know. And then we get to another part of the chapter. Ooh man, that blew my mind. Where Kaido mid-sentence. Lops off Orochi's head. That's it, done. He's over, right? I mean, obviously, not obviously. Some people think that Orochi is dead. I personally don't think so. I think it has to do with his mystical zone. I know his Yamato no Orochi, not the Hydra, but I feel that like he's going to have a similar power where you have to cut off all his heads. He has 8 heads, I believe. Cut off one of them. He's coming back, you know? Like, I think he's going to play dead. But here's the thing about it, though. He has to play dead because he's as good as dead. Because even if Kaido knows that Orochi isn't dead, it doesn't matter. Orochi is as good as dead at this point. Because you know what? Orochi's main power source was Kaido. And secondly was the samurai that followed him. Kaido just pulled out and took the samurai, right? So, like, when it comes to Orochi, all he's gonna have is basically the Oni Wabanchu, and that's it. He's not gonna have anything else. So he's as good as dead right now. So I don't think his plot point's done, because you know there's emotions attached to him where, you know, he's the center of that revenge and everything like that. His story isn't over, but I think he's alive, right? Oh, actually, also before too, that was gangsta as hell that he used King's sword. That's a true right hand man. There, he said, "Sir, there you go." You know, took the sword out. That was it. It's over for him.
Checkmate.
You know, but yeah, so that was the end of that. You know, and then but then something else happens at the end of the chapter, and I kind of overlooked this a little bit. But we see that Kiku's sword is covered in blood, and Kiku's crying, right? Now, here's the thing. Recently, we just got an editor talking about they were crying at the chapter. Crafter made them cry, and I saw that on Twitter, and that was one thing that stuck out. And I'm like, well, why would that happen? Well, I'll tell you why. I think that somebody dies in this next chapter, right? And who is that person that dies? I think that's Kinemon, right? That's my theory, right? How did Kinemon die? Well, it could have to do with the fact that Kanjuro's good at drawing. So when they cut down the Headless Warriors or whoever it was that Kanjuro drew, it was probably somebody that they know, somebody they hold dear, painted over, right, in disguise. And then when Kiku cut him down, the drawing dispersed and realized that, oh hell, I just killed Kinemon, you know? Now this is a very specific theory, so either I could be dead wrong and look stupid, or I could be dead on and be a damn genius. But yeah, I think that's what's going on. I mean, because honestly, if that would happen, like, you know, that could like bring me down a little bit, like, oh fuck, like Kiku's the one that took down Kinemon by accident, and Kanjuro's sitting there looking pretty, you know? That would be crazy, you know? But that's the thing. I think that could be the situation that's going on. But yeah, but that's it. I'm actually pretty late for work. My boss is gonna start messaging me and stuff. So I want to end it there. Those are my thoughts on the chapter, my review on it. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think about my theory down below in the comment section. If you like the content, like the video, and of course, subscribe. And with that, legend out.